Pretty tough feeling after a game like this.
Yeah, obviously didn't perform the way we wanted to. Just didn't get things done. So yeah, it's a tough feeling. It should be a tough feeling for everyone.
How's the ankle feel?
It's feeling better. It was good enough to play today. Obviously want to get it back to 100% and hoping to get there by next week. But it is feeling a whole lot better.
What percentage-wise do you think you're at right now?
It's hard to say percent. I know I'm just not as fast as I wish I was on, just a little bit in there. So you got to get that back, but, it's for sure it was ready to play. It was good enough to play.
Do you feel like you're in a battle for this position now?
No. I just, you're always in the way. You always want competition. You always want to, have that there, but you just got to go out and do your things. I don't, never really looked at it like it's a battle so much as, we just got to do what we can to better ourselves and better our team.
Do you see signs that this team knows there's a lot of football to play? I mean, there's got to be some confidence down here, but how do you kind of move
You're
forward?
right. I mean, you said it best. That there is a lot of football to play, and I think, obviously it hurts tonight, and it's one of those things. A little bit of that hurt isn't always bad. But going into next week, you've got to realize that it's a wide open race, and that our goal to go to and to win the Big Ten championship is right out in front of us. We're 0-0 in the Big Ten, and so is everybody else. So I'm sure that's the same thing they're talking about all over our conference. Because everyone's turning into conference play, whether they won or lost today. Whether they won every non-conference game or lost every non-conference game. I'm sure everyone's giving that same speech that it's a wide open race, and it's something that it's going to come down to who gets on a roll, who gets things going. At the end of the day, when they're viewing the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis, I doubt anybody will be talking about who did what in the non-conference. It's going to be all about what happens in these next 9 weeks. So obviously we're going to take it one game at a time and go out and execute.
Coach Beckman used the term rusty to describe you. Apart from the injury, did you feel like you're shaking off some cobwebs?
Yeah, I mean, there's just some things you can't do. I felt like that first drive had things going. For sure didn't feel rusty, I guess, on that one. And then we just go down there and make a turnover. Can't do that. Get in there for that. I think that was the second drive that was just a short field. And get the touchdown to length. Felt good about that play. We really felt good about that play all week. And we went out and executed well. And then, coming back, get the turnover on that interception. And it's one that the linebacker made a pretty good play. Jumped the drive route, which we had been hitting earlier. So, you try to go over top of him, and he kind of faded off of it, made a good play. But you can't do that, especially in your own territory. And then the fumble, that's real uncharacteristic, something that I haven't done too often in my career. But on that play, it's one of those things that I just got to get back to where I can run away from people, because that's a play that there's times in my career you look back and look at the film, and I've been able to run away from people, so it's frustrating. I was just frustrated at myself for not making that play, and if I didn't have it to either throw it out of bounds or tuck the ball. So there's times, I guess, there's some plays I could have made, and for sure 2 plays I would have wanted back. But felt good about that first drive and the execution that was taking place there. Just got to keep that going.
Outside of getting people healthy, yourself and some of the linemen, what do you want to see from this offense to try and generate what you guys expect out of it?
I think something that's going to help us out, something that we've got to start doing a better job of is just having those, I guess less than 4 play drives. You would like to see, some of us get out in the open, make a guy miss and run for 60 yards. I think those plays, having big chunk plays, having those big touchdown plays are something that's going to be huge. It gets points on the board quickly. You keep more ammo in the holster for sure, just because you're not having to use a lot of plays to get drives going. So that's something that's obviously got to develop. But we got to get healthy and we got to execute. You watch other quarterbacks. You watch Cam Newton this week after his. He had a rough game and stuff, and he talks about execution, and he gets frustrated at you guys, I guess, the media, which I'm definitely not.
Good.
But that's what it comes down to, execution. He's so right. It comes down to each guy making the play when it's called for him, and it doesn't matter whether it's the NFL, college football, or Little League. It comes down to execution.
You mentioned it that everybody in the league has kind of got their issues. I mean, have you kind of noticed that
Yeah.
everybody around the Big Ten is, nobody's sort of grabbing it and running away with it?
No, you noticed that and I'm sure they're talking about that everywhere. Didn't really get to see much of that Iowa game. But they go down today, and they're a team that, that they for sure have been in it these last couple of years, and I'm sure will be in it this year. You got a team like Minnesota that starts off. They won today, right? So they're 4-0. Undefeated so far, and I'm sure they're talking about the same thing. That now it's when it counts. And we've been through that before. I mean, we're 4-0 last year in our non-conference, and how much did that matter at the end of the day? So obviously going out there and finding a way to be the best team in our conference. That's exactly what we should be focused on, because it is a wide open race.
Is it harder to keep the trust with new coaches?
No, I'm a pretty trusting guy. I guess it's in my nature. I don't get too down about things when they don't go my way. Don't go too wild. When things are great. You try to stay pretty even keel. Like I said, I'm a trusting guy. I trust these coaches. I trust in their plan. I trust in what they tell me. So that's how I'm always going to be. Like I said, it's the spirit that's in me. It's how I do things. At the end of the day, when you get squeezed, that's when you really are tested. If you look at your life, you can look at your own life and say, when are the tough times that I've been tested? That's when you find out what you're really about, and I know what I'm really about. So
Yeah, I mean, like on a team standpoint, that when it's guys that recruited you and you grew up with, it's different than guys that even.
But it's who we got now, and they believe in us. Their goal is the same as our goal, to win a Big Ten championship game, whether they recruited us or not. Their goal for next week is to go out and win. And that's our goal. So when you're dealing with people that are like-minded, it doesn't matter how long you knew the person or how long you've been around this coach. All that matters is they're thinking on the same page that you are, and they're part of the same family you are, and we all feel that same way.
You talked about being even keel. After what happened last year, how do you make sure guys don't go, oh, here we go again, kind of thing?
For sure, you just tell them, you just tell them what the big goal is. The big goal is to be, like we talked about all year, like Coach Beckman talked about, why we have the wristbands on. 12-1-12 is to be a Big Ten champion, and nobody has taken that goal away from us. We haven't let that goal slip away. Honestly, that goal hasn't even been put into action, because nothing that we've done has to do with that. Obviously, you learn from your losses, you learn from the games you won, but at the end of the day, those things are still out there. So, we're far from hitting the panic mode button, I would say, and we knew, starting out 4-0 last year in the non-conference didn't do us much good at the end of the season. So, I don't think anyone's on that, feeling that mindset. Obviously. If you guys got someone to say something bad tonight, I guess you have to reel somebody back in. But I'm sure everybody's thinking the same thing, that we just got to get back on the horse for next week.
And can you talk a little bit more about how critical it is to get the offensive line healthy for next week?
Yeah, it's critical. I mean, you want those guys as healthy as possible. But if they aren't, you get another guy to step in, you get another guy to get the job done. Just because. That's going to happen throughout the year. Obviously, you want your best guys on the field, and you want as many guys healthy as possible. And those guys are working their butts off to get back on the field. But at the end of the day, you play with who you got, and that's what matters.
How does having a revolving door with you and Riley kind of shake up the team? I mean, affect the team in general?
I don't think the only thing that affects the team is how many points we're putting on the board, and that's what matters at the end of the day. I think everybody's confident in what we're doing at the quarterback position, and we just got to go out there as quarterbacks and execute.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Can I see the wristband?
Yep. The 12-on-12 side and the one side.
Excellent. Thanks,
Yep.
Nick.